3 years ago, I was crawling around on the floor in this very room looking to see if I had dropped any drugs because I was distressed. I needed relief. I was coming down from heroin and methamphetamine. And I started thinking, what could be the least painful way to commit suicide? Because I was very troubled. And I've been sober for 3 years now, but I've completely destroyed my life. And I'm afraid that I'm never going to be a success. I'm never going to have any friends. I'm never going to have a career. I'm never going to do anything in this world for the better. And I'm afraid. I'm very afraid of my future. I have been to prison 5 times. I have probably 40 or 50 convictions on my criminal record. And I've been to psychiatric hospitals many times and recovery programs. And I've ripped everyone off that I've ever known. I don't have any friends or any family members. I ripped them all off. They're afraid of me because of the way that I lived for so long, and trust isn't something that's easy to get back. So I'm basically alone in life at this point. I'm 35 years old, and I'm looking back on the destruction of the life that I lived. I've actually been sober for 3 years now, and I'm training to run a marathon. I'm really big into exercise and health and eating well, but I'm just worried that I'm never going to amount to anything, that I'll have been a scab on the face of the earth and society for my whole life when I die. And I don't want that to be the case. I have really messed up, and people don't want anything to do with me. Of course, I had many chances in life, and throughout my life, many people reached out to me to try to help me, but when someone's living a life of mayhem for over 20 years, people back up and they don't trust you. They don't think you're going to do well. So I'm really worried that I'm never going to amount to anything. And now that I'm clean and sober, I'm thinking now about the fact that I never had any vision. I'd like to have a career. I'm really into philosophy, and I like physics, and I'd love to get a university education and have a good life and have my own family and friends and be a respected member of the community, but I'm afraid that that's impossible for me because sometimes a person can mess up so bad for such a long period of time that people just don't want to give you a chance anymore, and maybe that's rightfully so. My criminal record is so bad, it's very difficult for me to find a job because it's basically absurd when you look me up online and see that I've been arrested so many times. And I even went to school. I borrowed money to go to school to get a welding certificate, and I never finished it because I ended up going to jail shortly before the class ended. Man, that was really hard on me, sitting in jail thinking, today would have been my graduation day. And so now I owe money for that, and it never amounted to anything. And I just don't know what I can do. I wish when I was younger I would have had vision, and I would have planned my life. But for so long I was only interested in just getting high every day and being intoxicated. And I don't really understand all the reasons for that. Of course, I've overcome that now. I stopped smoking cigarettes. I don't drink alcohol. I don't take any drugs of any kind. So, maybe I've made some progress, but I don't know. I'm just really worried that no one's ever going to give me a chance, and I don't even know what to do at this point to make my own dreams come true. I have a dream that maybe I could get an education and that I could work a job that helped other people. I want to help other people, but I'm not even sure I can help myself right now because of how destructive my life has been. I would love to do something to help other people that have suffered, and especially with addiction and mental health problems. But no one wants to give me a chance. And I've tried many times to find a job, and it just doesn't go well. And like the idea of me saving up thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars so that I can go and get an education. And even if I did, who would give somebody a chance after they've been arrested so many times? And I don't want to sound like I'm making excuses to not try. My whole point with this is I'm just trying to figure out something I can do. Maybe it would be something unique and something I've not heard of, and something I've never considered maybe that I could do that could really give me a boost in life. I would love to make something of myself, and now I'm just a 35-year-old man that's basically completely pathetic and basically worthless, and I'm just not feeling very good about myself. I think that if I would have addressed my life properly when I was young, that I could have had a good life. But now I'm basically looking out after all the destruction of all the years, and now I finally sobered up and my brain's come back to being level, and I'm thinking, what in the world can I do now? I literally don't have a single friend. There's no one involved in my life. I literally don't have a single family member. Of course, my family wasn't very big to begin with, but they backed up. When you're living a crazy life, people don't want to be around you. Of course, they always thought I was going to steal from them, and I did many times. You don't want to be around somebody that makes you paranoid, that you've got to worry that they're going to break into your house or steal something out of your purse if they come over, because I was like totally messed up. And I didn't feel good about those things, and I don't feel good about it now. It's really a wonder to me that I ever overcame addiction, and that I have been sober for 3 years, and that I do go work out, and I'm training to run a marathon. I try to give myself some credit, but I'm afraid that 10 years from now, I'll still be here, not have made much progress. 20 years from now, nothing happening for me. I just want a way out of this. I want a way out of this to where I can do something to inspire the world. And I'm afraid that one day I'll be on my deathbed and it'll all be close to being over, and I'll be looking back with regret, thinking my whole life was just an unfortunate series of horrible events. And I don't want that to happen. I want to rise up. I want to have a good influence on the world. I want to tip the scales from horrible destruction to, in the end, having a good influence on the world. And I don't know how to do that. This is just so rough for me to think about this every day. Of course, I've done what I can as far as dropping the drugs, because it was literally, I was either going to kill myself or stop using. And I managed to do that. And I'm a lot more healthy now. If you would have seen me 7 months ago, I was 20 pounds heavier, and a lot of people have complimented me on the fact that they see me out running every day. I even practice jiu-jitsu now, a martial art that's really interesting to me. But I want to have a successful life, and I'm just really afraid. I'm really afraid that this one chance that I have at life is not going to work out for me. So I've said enough. I'm going to go ahead and cut it off.